Welcome to Tabs, Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. It's a game where you simulate battles with total accuracy. It's also the only game where you can throw a Viking longship onto US riot police. I have never played Tabs before. Okay, I played the tutorial, but that doesn't count. This means I have no idea what to expect going into this campaign. The first mission gave me 3,000 coins to work with, so naturally I put down a gunslinger, and some snake archers for a reason I forget because my mic wasn't working. The second mission provided more of a challenge. On my first try, I put down a righteous paladin and 2 cannons. It didn't go brilliantly. On my second try, I had the genius idea of putting down a mammoth. It trampled its opponents with ease. The third mission, with my new mammoth strategy, went swimmingly. The fourth mission was the first in a series of 1v1s, though in this case it was technically a 2v1, but they're halflings, so still a 1v1? It only gave me 100 coins. My first idea was, naturally, to throw dynamite at them. That went about as well as expected.
He did not in fact hit.
Then I put down a knight, which fell off the wall and died. The third try, I put down a headbutter, essentially a grown-up halfling. It completed the job in record time, also apparently doing 0 damage because I got the Peacemaker achievement. In the fifth mission, I placed down a mammoth and won. The sixth mission was me versus a load of bards, peaceful units that don't attack. Surprise, surprise, I won. In the seventh mission, I discovered that Stone Age weaponry is no match for guns. The eighth mission was another 1v1, me versus a clubber. I thought it would be funny to try and defeat him with a bard. It went something like this. 1. Get hit in the face and die. 2. Fall off the wall and die. 3. Get hit in the face and die. 4. Fall off the wall and die. Can you spot a pattern? 5. Give up. I then tried matching him, clubber versus clubber. My first strategy of falling off the wall didn't work. My second strategy of being hit in the face also didn't work. However, my third strategy of hitting him in the face did work. Mission 9. Mammoth. Mission 10. Gunslingers versus clubbers. Gunslingers win. Mission 11. Gunslingers and mammoth. We win again. Mission 12. Another 1v1. This time, a farmer with a pitchfork. No match for a skeleton warrior. Mission 13. Multiple mammoths and gunslingers. Mission 14. Mammoth. Mission 15. Another 1v1. This time, a guy with a really long, sharp stick. I thought ranged might work quite well here, but unfortunately the spear thrower has terrible aim. Then I remembered I could control him, and won instantly. In Mission 16, disaster struck. The mammoth didn't easily win. Luckily, I had some spare money, so bought some gunslingers and just about won. Mission 17 didn't provide me with enough money to get a mammoth, but did provide enough for 3 gunslingers. As my opponents were 1 knight and a bunch of healers, it was an easy dub. Mission 18 was more of a challenge. A mammoth and gunslingers alone weren't enough. After 5 tries, I remembered that Tabs has a tank. Albeit a non-standard tank, but the Da Vinci tank still got the job done. Mission 19 was another 1v1. The knight was no match for the headbutter. Mission 20 was another round of bards. Mission 21, 10 catapults, surprisingly weak against guns. Mission 22, the cave army. 2 mammoths couldn't quite get the job done because of the protection given by the cave. 8 gunslingers, however, tell quite a different story. Mission 23 was another 1v1. This time, the spear guy wasn't much use because he had a shield. But chuck a big stone at him. Mission 24, Knights in Trees. Gunslingers win. Mission 25 consisted of 4 mammoths in a city. Versus 1 dynamite thrower, they win. Versus 1 catapult, they win. Dark magic though, and they lose. Mission 26, Gunslingers versus catapults. Gunslingers win. Mission 27 was another 1v1, this time against an axe guy who throws himself at you. Dark magic, namely the Shadow Walker, wins easily. Mission 28 brought a load of wheelbarrows and a hay bale. The gunslingers tore through the wheelbarrows and, after reloading, the hay bale too. Mission 29, Knights on Towers. Gunslingers win. Mission 30, Mammoth. Mission 31, a 1v1 with a Bone Mage. Unfortunately for the Bone Mage, my aim is on point. Mission 32, Mammoth wins. Mission 33 was a collection of archers. Jarls win. Mission 34 gave us knights on buildings. An army of gunslingers, however, don't leave them with much hope. Mission 35, another 1v1. One spear was not enough, but two? Mission 36 brought some tree mammoths. What the mammoths didn't factor in was dark magic. After a lot of fancy special effects and unsticking one of the void monarchs, we got an easy win. Mission 37 saw 2 mammoths and 8 wheelbarrows placed around a city. I decided to find out what a swordcaster was. They seemed to be quite weak, but we still won anyway. Mission 38 gave us poison. Mammoth wins. Mission 39 was a 1v1 against a knight with a shield. Lucky for the knight, it got stuck under a bridge and so avoided the fire of my gunslinger, going to kill him only after the gunslinger had fired. The knight also defeated a flintlock in my hands, although it could possibly, slightly, maybe have been my aim. I then proceeded to walk off the wall and die 2 times in a row, before getting charged by the knight and dying again. My bomb thrower suffered a similar fate. I then tried a blunderbuss. The knight somehow survived 2 shots to the body from what looked like a pretty beefy gun. Next, I tried a candlestick, vampire, and bomb thrower. The candlestick died instantly, the bomb thrower blew himself up, and the vampire got stuck on the wall. After a little bit of gentle coaxing, the vampire proceeded to turn into a bat, attached to the knight, and suck all the blood out of him. Mission 40 gave us even more poison guys. Gunslingers got poisoned and died. 2 extremely green mammoths finished the job. Mission 41 comprised people who dual-wield axes and throw themselves at you. They beat the literal king of the gods, 2 people with guns, and then a line of people throwing dynamite. They didn't much like having their blood sucked out of them, however. Mission 42. Lots of Minotaurs. An army of vampires didn't leave them with much of a chance. Mission 43 made me face another 1v1 against a guy in a bear costume with a battle axe. For once, the vampires didn't work. Even 3 tons of dynamite didn't work. Guns did, though. Mission 44 gave me angels and guys with birds. No match for a void monarch. Mission 45 consisted of a mountain tribe. Not a job for 3 mammoths. Neither for a load of gunslingers. A load of gunslingers and a hwacha, however? Mission 46. Angels and wheelbarrows. That's a sentence of all time. Once again, no match for a void monarch or 2. Mission 48. A 1v1 against a wheelbarrow. 1 gunslinger wins. 48. A bard surrounded by kings. Gunslingers didn't get the job done. An army of dynamite throwers, likewise. Deadeyes, though, did get the job done. 49 brought some Viking longships. 3 gunslingers weren't enough, but 3 gunslingers in a different formation were also not enough. A Deathbringer also didn't work, neither did a Sacred Elephant. 2 Righteous Paladins also failed to bring victory, even when shielded with 3 peasants. 2 wheelbarrows didn't work. Then someone in chat told me to use arbiters, and I had the bright idea to make a grid of peasants. I don't know why I did this, but it worked, and you can't argue with results.
Doesn't stand much of a chance against that. Yep, he got absolutely obliterated.
50 was another 1v1 against an angel. A spear thrower didn't work. A direct shot to the face didn't work. Gunslingers didn't work. 2 musketeers did work. 51 was more Viking longships. Arbiters and a mammoth didn't work because the arbiters killed the mammoth. A different formation, however, brought different results, but they did still kill the mammoth first. 52 brought some minotaurs and a mammoth. No match for 3 void monarchs. 53. Another 1v1 against a minotaur. Musketeers missed their shots and took ages to reload. Flintlocks died. Harpoons and a cannon also didn't work. Harpoons and a dynamite thrower did work, but at the cost of a dynamite thrower. 54. A void monarch failed, as did gunslingers, as did a mammoth and gunslingers, as did a reaper. This was turning out to be a considerable challenge. That was until I remembered vampires. 55. Vikings. A Void Monarch took care of them. 56. A 1v1 against a catapult. 1 Deadeye worked eventually. 57. Some units that didn't really matter because they gave me enough for 3 Void Monarchs. 58. 6 Zeus. That's what I named multiple Zeuses. Void Monarchs win. 59. A 1v1 against a king. Somehow it survived 2 clean shots without a shield. 2 gunslingers also didn't work. A Hwacha almost didn't work, but did in the end. 60. A 2v1 in knights. Once I figured out how combat worked, it was an easy dub. 61. 5 mammoths and some halflings. No chance against some void monarchs. 62. A mammoth on the roof. 1 cannon didn't work, so I tried 2. 2 cannons also didn't work. After flailing around in the Hwacha for a while, another and final win. If you liked the video, that's cool, I guess. Bye.